Hello, everybody, and we're live with Metroid Prime Pinball here on Metroid Marathon Bread. I am your host for this pinball section, broadcasting live from streaming site codename Ether. I know that we just left Ether, and Prime 2 blew up
Don't worry, we
half
just
of it.
left it in a better state.
We sure did, by completely deleting half of its existence. Anyways, we're here to play pinball. Pinball's a weird game in the series. For one, it's probably the only one that can't be really described in gameplay as a Metroidvania. But
Excuse me, you get new movement abilities like hitting the right flapper and hitting the left flapper.
you do get upgrades in this game. That's true. We're gonna get missiles. We're gonna get we're gonna get power bombs, and we're actually gonna get a special upgrade if we play really well that you only get in this game. So this game did come out after Metroid Prime 2. It came out on the DS during that era when the DS was like really into pinball games. Like for some reason there was a Mario pinball game that came out on the Game Boy Advance, and then just every developer went crazy when they got the ability to create pinball games on a second screen. So we got like the Resident Evil pinball game around this time too. So this game was developed by Fuse.
Now it can look like a pinball table because it's tall.
It is tall, so that's why there's the gap on the screen too, because that actually helps me play better, so I can predict where the ball's coming. But speaking of predicting, this is the only game in the entire marathon where we don't guarantee completion. We have an hour and a half of time blocked out. We're very excited to play this game. We love this game very much. However, it's a pinball game. There's a lot of RNG going on. Sometimes we're just not going to beat it. Historically, we've done pretty well. I am the 27th best Metroid Prime Pinball player in the world by score rank. That's fun. Fun fact for you today. Of course, my world record is not on this DS. It's on my other DS that's on the back shelf there. And speaking of the back shelf, before we begin, this is Metroid Marathon Bread. So you might have noticed a distinct lack of bread. Obviously, we are working to make this lunch of bread with your help. We can donate to remove toppings if we want to make that closer to strictly bread. However, we also have 2 loaves of bread here that I picked up from my local bakery. This stream's not sponsored by my local bakery, but it could be if you're watching. We've got these 2 lovely loaves. We got this rustic potato loaf and this sourdough loaf. And I'm going to make an absolute mess of my office because every time we straight up lose, I'm going to rip off a piece of one of these chunks of bread. I'm not even going to take a knife to it, just going to get crumbs everywhere. I need to vacuum anyway. It's okay. I'm just going to try the bread, and we're going to experience the bread together between rounds. So, without further ado, let's play some pinball.
Some pinball.
It's a weird one. All right. So, to start things off, we get a choice of boards. We are going to go across several different boards over the course of this game and do bounty missions and collect 12 artifacts, which will let us go fight Ridley, and if we beat Ridley, we'll then get to go fight Metroid Prime herself. So there's 2 options to start, Talon Overworld and the Pirate Frigate. I like the Talon Overworld a little bit better, so we're going to be starting there.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways that you can get artifacts in Metroid Prime Pinball. But the primary way is to do bounties. See, that little hologram up there in the upper right, if I get my ball in there, again, this is pinball, but if I get my ball in there, we'll get to start a bounty mission. We start a bounty mission, and we complete it. This one is kill all the little burrowers here. Gotta get them out from underground, and then hit them again. Oh, hey, look at that. It's pinball. We failed that mission, so we don't get to do that one again. Which is unfortunate, because if we get 8 artifacts in this level, we never need to go to the Pirate Frigate in our run in order to beat the game. That is always my goal when I play this game. Extra ball, that's fantastic. Extra balls obviously are very important. There's no difficulty settings in this game. It's just you're stuck with what you got, and if you die, you lose everything. So we start with 2 extra balls. Getting extras is obviously fantastic. There's just a lot going on here, but ultimately, you might notice that some of these areas are familiar. That is because this is basically just a retelling of Metroid Prime 1. There's a few very minor differences, i.e. Magmoor Caverns aren't around, Chozo Ruins aren't around, but basically we're going around collecting artifacts in the areas that you know and love from Metroid Prime 1. We're just kind of a grand old time doing just that. So, Mike, why don't you tell the chat the history of Metroid Prime Pinball at Metroid Marathon?
The history. I don't know how much history there is to tell. The history is someone said, "Hey, that Metroid Marathon you did the first time, you played a lot of Metroid games. But what if you played all the Metroid games?" And we said, "All the Metroid games?" They said, "Yeah, like Pinball and Federation Force and Dread, which hadn't been invented yet." And someone said, "That's a good idea." And we've regretted it ever since. No. Pinball is one of those games, so we grabbed a copy of it for the Nintendo DS. We found a way to capture a DS game, aka through a 3DS capture card. And Sterling, uh, one fateful night, made a decision and said, "I will play pinball. I will take the ring to Mordor." And ever since then, Sterling has been playing pinball at Metroid Marathons. I want to say, is it the first time you played it? Was that the first time you had ever beaten the game? You beat it on stream, if I'm remembering correctly.
Uh, I don't know. I practiced it a lot, um, but I wouldn't be surprised because this game is like, even when you get good at this game, sometimes you just die with like less than 500,000 points, which is not that many. Uh, to be clear, my record is a little bit over 14 million, and just beating the game usually gets you around the 10 million mark. Okay, so one thing we did here is we went around that loop in the center enough in order to spell the word Samus, which unlocked this Beetle Blast minigame. Some of the artifacts you just get from like little minigames you unlock. We'll probably see a wall jump minigame later. Each of the two main boards, Talon Overworld and Pirate Frigate, have these shootout minigames, but we also get to see this combat used in bosses once we get the missiles. Technically, we can use them to clear out the little minions that bosses might have, but if we need to do damage to the bosses, that's what the missiles are for, which we'll be getting after this board. Go over to the Phazon Mines and knock out the Omega Pirate to get that. Great, perfect. Gets us an artifact. This is, outside of that one missed artifact early on, this is going okay so far. I don't want to jinx myself too hard.
We're getting artifacts. We're getting it done. Do we have to go to the Pirate Frigate?
We will, based off of this. So if I manage to get 8 artifacts on this board, that means that we don't need to go to the Pirate Frigate. We could technically come back to the Talon Overworld later, but that's not usually worth it because all of the missions are just going to be harder. Probably the most annoying part of a run is if I get all the way to Ridley and then die, because then I need to go play through another board until I clear out enough stuff that it'll let me leave that board again, and then I can go fight Ridley again. But also, I think that Ridley is probably the best designed fight in this game, if you can call any of these boss battles fights. So right here, there's the missile launcher. We're about to get that, and then a big old boss will show up, and then we gotta kill it.
Excellent.
These little guys, however, are like way more annoying than any of the bosses because they've got homing missiles, and when they hit you, they knock you around. And in pinball game, you like to be as in control of your ball as possible, and sometimes the game just doesn't let you do that. So one strategy that a lot of physical pinball boards use is finding ways to get your pinball to stop. For example, holding a flipper up and letting it rest in that corner. That'll help you stop your ball and get a really good, precise shot compared to a lot of other situations. This game, being a digital pinball board, doesn't use quite real physics. It uses physics that seem close enough. But getting this ball to actually stop is incredibly hard. It does happen sometimes. Hopefully I'll get to use that at some point in this run. But the physics in this game really don't want you to stop and just make it extra hard to actually do the things that you want to do. And sometimes I'll just need to get the ball one place and it just won't go there. However, you'll also notice that, unlike a physical pinball board, we've got force fields, and thank goodness for that. So the little force field is the little electric bar between the two flippers at the bottom. That's going to help out. That's a power-up that you can get as a temporary defense, basically, and that'll help make sure that my ball doesn't get knocked into the void too many times, hopefully.
You got an artifact.
You do got to earn it a little bit. But you always start with it, and whenever you get an artifact, you get it.
Nice. This boss seems like he's almost dead. We just lap ourselves into him maybe one or two more times.
Absolutely, which means that we get to go into Thardis with full missiles. You remember Thardis, big rock boy from Metroid Prime 1? We're gonna get to go fight him again. You might
Really
notice we
into
just...
certain kind of music?
Sorry, what was that, Mike?
He's really into a certain kind of music. Can you guess which?
I
That's
think
right.
I might be
Smooth
able to take a
jazz.
guess. Yeah, no, you got me there. You got me there. Also, chat, I did tinker with the audio settings a bit. I think they're in a good spot. However, I didn't have Mike in the Discord call when I was testing the audio. So, if audio is off at all, please let me know. I'd be happy to adjust it. I think it should be in a good spot, though. However, we just got the Power Bomb. Power Bomb destroys everything on one part of the board, unless it's a boss, in which case it just merely does heavy damage. So, there we go. Just use a Power Bomb, reduces health significantly. So let's... Unfortunately, I only get one of those for now. That's the orb on the upper right of like my little HUD at the bottom. So that one's black right now, which you can see. So for Thardis, I can only hit him twice before he goes into this rock form for a bit. I do have combat ready though, so you get to see these missiles in action. So I'm gonna clear out these little guys, and then I get to fire the missiles that I got from the Omega Pirate. That dealt a bunch of damage too. Let's see if we can get this health pick up. Yeah, stay topped up. So we are still going to need to go to the Pirate Frigate after this. However, this is looking like a pretty solid run right now. Oh, heck. Spoke too soon. It sure does happen. All right. I believe we're at 9 artifacts now, and again, we need 12. So we're going to get one more for beating Thardis here. And then we're going to need to get at least 2 at the Pirate Frigate. That's going to be pretty easy, because if we beat the Pirate Frigate, it's probably from getting at least 2 artifacts. Might even get more. However, oh no, I just went back to the Talon Overworld. I was not paying attention. So, the reason I usually don't go back to the Talon Overworld after the first time is because all the missions are just a little bit harder and a little more annoying. I'm a little more likely to die to them. However, there's a good chance that we're still fine. We're in a good position. In general, the Talon Overworld is slightly easier than the Pirate Frigate.
Talon Overworld. Do you think Talon Overworld 2 is easier than Pirate Frigate 1?
Not quite. Just because, for example, the Burrow Bash one here, the burrowers will actually go back under after a bit if I don't hit them on level 2. So, like, there's little things like that. However, I did just get a Power Bomb, which is great because I think I can just do that. Yep. Beat that mission. That feels great. All right. We do a Triclops Terror. Triclopses have been the bane of my existence. They are just kind of like a minor nuisance in Magmor Caverns. They grab your Morph Ball and just huck you out of their little domain. However, their little domain is the whole board in Pinball. So, if we have to fight the Triclopses here, they will just throw me down the pit if they grab me, which is not fun, and I've had extremely bad luck with the Triclopses here. How is the 27th best Metroid Prime Pinball player today? I'm doing great. I've got bread, I've got pinball, I've got friends, and hopefully with your help, I can get some donations for Direct Relief. Mike, why don't you tell the chat a bit about Direct Relief?
Yeah. So we are raising for Direct Relief. This is the second event that we've done in support of Direct Relief. Direct Relief is an organization that sends medical aid and emergency supplies to over 100 countries around the world, including all 50 United States. Right now, 2 of their big initiatives is 1, helping set up power infrastructure to help run a bunch of free health clinics that they send supplies to. And another is simply sending aid to Ukraine. So they are working with local Ukrainian groups to coordinate and send aid to where it is most needed in war relief efforts. 100% of your donations go to Direct Relief. Sterling and I don't see a penny of it. Connor doesn't see a penny of it. Mark doesn't see a penny of it. No one here at the Metroid Marathon team makes a profit off of your donations. 100% of them go to Direct Relief. They go to acquiring medical supplies, shipping it out to places in need and people who need them in those places. So our tech account has put in the link to donate. You can go there and donate. Reminder that you can also help us add or remove toppings from our pizza that we're going to order for dinner tomorrow night. And in general, that's just where you go to help us out. We'd really appreciate it.
Ooh, extra ball? Heck yeah, don't mind if I do. I hit the 2 million mark. So you get extra balls in this game at 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, and I believe 15 million after that. Obviously, I haven't gotten to 15 million before, but Doesn't mean that I might not today. We'll find out. Let's see, what else is going on here? Right, so actually, if you want, Mark, you can direct people to the Slench. Fantastic Mr. Socks in chat, aka our wonderful web tech, Brian. Fantastic guy, excellent team member, love him to bits, wish you were here with us. He has pointed out that we've got our Slench tracker, which you can find if you type !Slench in the chat, which the Metroid Marathon account has done. So please feel free to check it out. You get to see what toppings are available in the Available Topics tab if you want to suggest toppings that aren't yet available. You can do such modifications as remove cheese, make extra cheese. You could make it so that the pizza is thin crust. Although now there's $100 toward making it thin crust. So you need to donate at least $100 to make it not, or $100.01 to make it not thin crust. Just make sure you get those donations in before the pizza's ordered Sunday evening Eastern time. That's when we're going to be getting that ordered. And we love calling the pizza place and awkwardly saying, look, we know this sounds bizarre or weird, and yes, we know what we just asked for. We want it anyway. Anchovies, pineapples, and 30 other toppings. Yes, please. You can add or remove whatever toppings you like that are available from the pizza place we're ordering from. Which, again, you can find at !Slench. So, Mike, I haven't been actually at the event for this. I haven't been at the streaming site of the GFS Olympus. How are things going there? It seems like the stream's going good. The team's having a good time.
We are pretty tired. It turns out that trying to run a 24-hour marathon with a local crew of 6 is putting a little bit of strain on us, but I think we are in decent spirits. I'm glad that we seem to be pretty close to schedule. We've had a couple games go a little bit over, but we've also had a couple games go a little bit under. We're playing Metroid games. Raising money for charity, and sometimes it's all you need. Beetle Blast 2.
Beetle Blast level 2. More Beetles.
I'm on a little bit of a delay because I have to watch the Twitch stream, so I'm not quite catching everything as it happens.
That is A-okay. I'll let you know if something exciting happens. However, we're just getting more artifacts. We're gonna need to get through that Triclops Terror eventually anyways. We did lose a ball. It's a mixed bag. This could go either way. If we get one more extra ball, we're in business. But things are looking a little on the tougher side for this run. We'll find out. Worst case scenario, I get to dig into one of those bread loaves in the background. I'm excited.
So hard.
No,
I'm surviving.
Yeah, almost there. Let's see if I can avoid getting hit one more time. Yep, alright. There's the last artifact I need. Yes, please do check out that Gleam giveaway. Mojo, our wonderful team member, who does all sorts of wonderful cross-stitch art, has made a fantastic Dread Suit Samus cross-stitch. It's fantastic looking. I know I just said that word, but it's really incredible. Mojo does excellent work. Can't recommend it enough. Make that entry. Check out that link that Mojo posted in chat if you want to see what she's made. Dread Suit is one of my favorite designs that Samus has. We just saw the Light Suit, which I think is my actual favorite design, but Dread is probably like right behind that. Missile Reach? Alright, I'll take it. That's not nothing, but like, oh, okay. Really would have preferred an extra ball or force field there. Gotta clear out that Triclops Terror mission. I actually gotta make that shot into the hologram.
The next extra ball at 5 million. It is possible.
Doable, but I don't think I'm getting to 5 million before I lose another ball. So another extra ball bonus is really going to be better for me here. So one thing about the wall jump minigame, which you saw me play earlier, the second time you play that on each board, you do get an extra ball instead of an artifact. So that's probably my best bet for actually getting an additional extra ball at this stage in my run.
This stage in your adult life.
I mean, couldn't we all just use an extra ball?
No comment.
Metaphorically speaking, of course.
We could all use an extra metaphorical ball.
Yes. I know but I've seen lots of like gamer shirts for kids that are like, I got multiple lives or whatever, and I don't think one that says I got multiple balls is gonna necessarily fit in any sort of market. So we're gonna get that in here while we can.
Need to do some shifting of windows because we just got a $100 donation.
Whoa! Excellent. Who'd we get it from?
That was from Fantastic Mr. Socks,
Hey.
who says, all of this towards spinach on the slenge, please.
All right, spinach is a good
Sorry?
pizza topping.
Trying to give us a healthy slenge.
Illegal.
Illegal. Not allowed. Thank you so much, Mr. Socks. We will, of course, register that donation in favor of spinach. It'll get a little bit more healthy. Can we get avocado on this pizza?
Whoa,
I think
wait, is that one of the
avocado is
options?
superfood. I don't think it is, but I think it's one of the. I think it's the current like pop culture superfood.
I mean,
I know
avocado's
I'm
pretty great.
on top of all of my foods, and I don't feel any healthier, but I do feel a little bit more satisfied because avocado is pretty tasty.
Avocado is pretty tasty, I would agree. All right, so here's Triclops Terror. I don't need to necessarily beat this one, I just need to not die. Oh, too late. That's okay. Actually, I did have an extra ball, so I didn't necessarily need to survive that one, but boy, it would have been nicer. However, now we can go off and fight Ridley. The Ridley fight, I think, is the best designed part of this game because it's basically just a big old multi-ball. You're juggling 6 multi-ball at once, trying to fill all these slots that you see around the board, while Ridley's trying to destroy you. Overall, pretty effective, and it has a lot less of the nonsense that a lot of these other boards have. That doesn't mean that I won't have difficulty just getting the ball into the thing. There we go. Alright, so it takes my real ball and gives me 6, like, pseudo balls that I need to toss around the board and activate these slots before throwing them in the slots.
Oh boy, look at that frame rate.
Let's just say the DS didn't have the best processor.
Oh no, Ridley's here to steal the baby and the balls.
The Balby. Is that a thing?
It sounds like a cursed Furby, which is a little bit redundant.
That is a little bit redundant. Alright, let's see here.
See, we filled some of these slots.
Yeah, so Ridley's bombs will actually just straight up destroy these, though. And I'm down to 1, so what I'm going to be focusing on is hitting that button at the top with the triangle under it pointing there. Because that's going to let me get more balls. If I hit that, it gives me extra balls to bounce around, which is just going to give me that little bit of extra assurance against all of these explosions that Ridley's throwing around.
You keep hitting all the statues.
I do need to actually get it in there, though. Yeah, that's definitely the problem here.
Oh! See a couple really close shots on the stream below.
I mean, in theory, I could just ignore that and go for these last 2. However, that's just risky behavior, and I never get rewarded for it. Pinball's already risky enough. Yeah, there we go. That's the angle I want.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Oh! Oh, you did hit it. You got another ball.
Yes. Which is good. Oh, okay. I just lost it. That's okay, though, because we could probably get another. Yeah, I was in a good position to... Hey, all right, we just have one more that we got to get. Oh, heck. Oh, this is stressful.
No stress. This is a zero-stress environment. Everything is fine.
Zero stress, no RNG environment of pinball.
We're doing what we love, which is playing pinball, a game of some skill and mostly chance.
There sure is some skill and mostly chance here. That's just a good summary. Oh, jeez. Come on. Getting it into these side ones here at the real steep angle, that's always the hardest part here. Just gonna see if we can get it over there, because I want to get it up to the upper left flipper, because that gives me the best angle to do this. Oh no! No! Alright, that was our last ball too. So I believe... Oh wait! Oh, I guess this doesn't technically destroy my ball. Okay, so I need to go defeat one of these. So I think Phase on Mines is going to be my best bet to actually still be cruising here. So I'm still technically in this. If I beat Phase on Mines, I can go back and fight Ridley again. However, I do need to defeat the Omega Pirate for that again. It's just going to be less time consuming and less deadly than potentially going through Pirate Frigate or Talon Overworld.
You have 4 missiles. I don't know if you have super missile. It looks like no, but
Super missile is not a thing in this game. It's just missiles, power bomb, and then the mystery bonus power up that we'll get in the final area if we get there.
I love mystery bonus.
Yeah, it's a pinball specific power up that's not in any other Metroid game.
Exclusive Metroid Prime Pinball content that you can only find here on twitch.tv/Metroid_Marathon because no one else is playing Metroid Pinball.
There's nobody else. I bet we're the only person on Twitch right now playing Metroid Prime Pinball. If I'm wrong, I will eat a whole loaf of bread.
If you found us from the Metroid Prime Pinball category, why were you looking for that?
You're welcome.
And also welcome.
Also, we just lost, so let's take a moment to appreciate some bread.
It's bread time.
It's bread time. Would you prefer us check out the sourdough or the potato bread first?
I am fully in favor of going potato mode.
Potato mode. All right.
I don't know if you've heard of this, but
rustic loaf.
Apparently there's a relatively recent diet trend called going potato mode, where you just consume most of your calories via potatoes, and it turns out to be
love
than you would
potatoes.
think.
That's really funny. Yeah, so this is a lovely rustic potato loaf. I'm just gonna get crumbs absolutely everywhere as I tear up a piece and enjoy it.
Oh,
I'll be vacuuming later, I promise. All right.
You pinky swear?
I pinky swear. So, I'm used to potato loaves that look a little yellow on the inside. This one does not. Doesn't mean it's not delicious. It's just an interesting thing to note. So,
Please start a bread tab doc theme. Don't actually do that. We're not eating enough interesting breads to be worth documenting.
this is a very good bread. I wanted to get the 2 breads that look the best on a shelf. I think I succeeded. I almost got a brioche. That just looks like the stereotypical, the platonic ideal of a loaf of bread. However, I wanted to get a little more interesting with it. And this is an interesting bread. I bet this would go really well with, honestly, just a little bit of butter. I don't think it needs anything else. Go great with, like, some spaghetti. Go great with, just anything you can sop up. Just a good hearty soup. Good bread. Mike, what sort of bread options do you have at the stream site, at the GFS Olympus? I know that you were enjoying some naan earlier in the marathon.
Yeah, so Meredith had some naan as part of an Indian food dish. I personally had a chicken sandwich, which was on a bun, which I will count as bread. Also, the chicken was breaded. Also, I had French fries, which are basically bread. We made a loaf of French bread that we were eating on setup day and a little bit the day after. I think that's been it as far as bread is concerned. We've been running ourselves a little ragged, running games and running tech and also sleeping. There hasn't been a ton of bread consumption, but breading, the best kind of bread. Yeah, look, they call it breaded chicken. I'm going to assume it's bread. You can't convince me otherwise. There were carbohydrates in it. There was sugar in it. It was probably made with some amount of flour. That's bread in my book.
Speaking of contested bread options, I know that Connor was asking whether coffee cake counted as bread in the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Which you can check out if you type an ! Discord in the chat.
Yeah. Join our Discord where you can discuss such lively conversational topics as, is coffee cake bread? In my book, yes. Because it looks like bread, and it tastes like sweet bread, and I think flour is a major ingredient, and that makes it bread.
I'm too American to disagree. So, let's get started with another run. We're going to try the Pirate Frigate first, because I didn't do the Pirate Frigate at all last time, and I want to make sure that you all see all the boards available here. If we do struggle to make it to the final boss, I will just, toward the end, just boot up the final boss board, because that is available, because I have beaten the game on this DS. So
not humble bragging. Just stating fact.
Just stating facts, making sure that you know that you will see every board available except for the multiplayer board, unless if we just absolutely crush it this run, then maybe I'll pull up the multiplayer board, which is Magmore Caverns and not actually very interesting.
Can you do it? Can you do it single player and not multiplayer?
I know.
Because I don't think anyone else has a working copy of Metroid Prime Pinball right now.
I believe that last time we tried this at a marathon, we tried to get multiplayer set up and we realized it didn't work on 3DSs. It only worked on DSs. And because of that, we couldn't actually get multiplayer set up, even though we were probably the only place in the world that had multiple copies of Metroid Prime Pinball available at the same time. Which is just a fun thing to think about. However, we were able to get the Magmore Caverns board loaded up in like a multiplayer version. We were able to get it booted up in like a multiplayer version that was like an empty lobby, basically. So I'll see if I can bully the game into doing that.
I'm a big fan of bullying games.
Same.
That's why I play Ocarina of Time Randomizer.
Boy,
you know, that
howdy,
game
you bully that game.
No, that game bullies me. When you've seen someone who can actually bully that game, and then you watch me, you're like, Mike, you're doing okay. You're doing all right.
So that reminds me of a fun fact about the high scoreboard for Metroid Prime Pinball. There is one person who legitimately has the highest score you can get in the game, which is 199,999,990 points. Like, the only comment he has on it is like, yep, that's the maximum. And that's very funny to me.
Someone sat here consistently playing pinball, you know, not dying, with their eye on it, and achieved the maximum score. It's also funny to me that it's 19 million and not 99 million.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. I don't even know what the extra digit looks like on this board, or if it is like an available thing. Like, does it even somehow show another digit? I don't know. I might never find out. Or I might find out right now. Who knows? This might be the run.
This could be the run. How long do you think it would take to get 19,999,990 points?
That 199 million? That's a lot. Holy moly.
9 million. Oh, okay.
I mean,
that is...
over the course of the run, your jackpot does... Like, your jackpot value does maintain across balls. So that's probably your best bet for really cracking the high score, is getting a multi-ball with a high jackpot and just keeping cranking that jackpot as high as possible across runs and just killing bosses over and over. So I think that's your best bet to make sure that you've got just a consistent increasing value of points. Oh, it'd still take a long time though. Like, beating the game probably still takes like at least 20 minutes if you have like a really good run, and that would probably require you to beat the game a lot. So I'm thinking this is hours and hours of just sitting there playing pinball. This is like a full day of pinball. Which,
so what you're saying is, when we do our next event, we need to have a 24-hour pinball segment where all we stream is your attempts to play pinball and get the max score. I'm pretty sure this is a legally binding agreement.
I'm making no such promises. However, I bet we could find that one German guy who had the max score and see if he'd want to come in and say hi. That is another life down, unfortunately. We are down to final ball on the first board. That's just how we do sometimes.
This may not be to earn, but we're having fun.
We're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep trying.
Flipping pinballs, we're killing space pirates. What more could you ask for out of a Metroid Marathon event?
I also never quite understood the flavor of clone multi-ball. Are those space pirates doing cloning in the Prime games, and I just missed those logs? Like, are they all clones of each other, or are they cloning Metroids or something? I missed that.
Metroid's in Super Metroid, but Super Metroid technically happens after Metroid Prime.
That's true. And Metroid timeline is a little weird when you compare it to the actual game release timeline.
Yeah, that's true. I would say it's not weird compared to some other games with branching timelines. Not to name drop again, but staring it directly in the camera at Zelda. Metroid at least has two timelines and they don't even contradict each other. It's just that everything that has Prime in the title happens between 1 and 2, and that's all you really have to know.
That's true. Oh, that didn't count as my hurry up? Okay, so if I hit certain spots on the board, I get a hurry up. Oh, that's because I have to shoot it that direction. That's right. That basically means I need to make a full loop with my ball in a certain direction within a time limit. Oh, goodness, that's just a rundown already. All right. One thing that's annoying about the hurry up is it locks you out of doing other missions and kind of prevents you from doing anything else. So if you can't manage to get your ball in the right spot, you kind of just have to wait. However, that's another run. So let's try the other bread. Got this beautiful sourdough loaf. I knocked down my Zeldathon ascent thing by mistake.
Wait, your Zeldathon what now?
I got a little Zeldathon ascent plaque.
You won something, didn't you?
I did win a thing. Yeah, I won a Majora's Mask replica, which is really, really good. And I also won that Korok. It rattles when you shake it. It's great. Anyway.
All right, that Korok gets a pass from me. Makara is cool. Other Koroks, you're on my do not fly list.
I don't know if the rattling came through. I don't think it did on the mic. The noise filtering's pretty good.
It didn't for me. I don't know if it did for stream.
That's fair. So one thing I will say is, for anybody in chat who doesn't know, isn't familiar with Mike, he's one of the first people on record to have gotten 100% completion in Breath of the Wild. I remember you were interviewed.
That's true.
Like, I'm not saying you were the first. You definitely weren't. However, you were one of the earliest people to get 100% completion.
I would take one of the first very liberally applied. We have no idea how many people did it. We just know that I was foolish enough to volunteer to be interviewed about it.
You did it early enough that you were literally interviewed by who was it? Was it like Vanity Fair or something? It wasn't that, but it was like
it was something. I mean, you can search it by doing Breath of the Wild. Mike, you could learn my full name. Oh wait, no, you can't. There's a whole bunch of copycat YouTube videos now. Maybe Korok?
Oh, well, you look that up. I'm going to introduce this wonderful sourdough loaf. Look at that. Look at that. That's just a gorgeous loaf of sourdough. Thank you again to my local bakery. Again, not sponsored by my local bakery, but if they're watching, we could talk.
It's Vice.
Vice. It was Vice, yeah. So you got interviewed by Vice about this. Look at this gorgeous sourdough loaf.
I was 27 years old at the time. That was 6 years ago.
That's fun to think about. All right, I'm gonna tear off a piece of this loaf, and we're gonna give this a shot. God, this is not an easily tearable loaf. Maybe I should get a knife after all. No, we got it. Okay.
Because hopefully it won't be terrible at all.
There we go.
I'll sign off now.
All right. Delightfully fluffy on the inside. Nice dark brown color.
Oh, you're making me hungry for bread.
Bread is good.
When this segment is over, I am actually on schedule to go to bed. I might get bread before bed. Little pre-bed bread.
Do the Bart Simpson, you said go to bread? This is quite good. Not the most sour sourdough. Still quite delicious. Would recommend.
A bed made of bread? I don't like having crumbs in my bed.
Is there a bed bowl as opposed to a bread bowl that you could sleep in?
Oh, that's where cats sleep in.
Cats do sleep in a bed bowl.
Oh, man. Discovery of the century here. I'm sure someone has made a cat bed that is fashioned after a bread bowl. But if not, Etsy, DIYers, get on it. I would buy that for probably upwards of $70. Just for the novelty.
Free ideas. You got free ideas here at Metroid Marathon.
Popping them all, left and right. One is an all pinball marathon. Another is a bed bowl that you can sell for $70.
I don't know which one's a worse idea, but I like them both.
What? That's just because they're both the greatest idea.
All right, let's go again. Run number 3. Let's try Talon Overworld again. Just treats me a little bit better.
You did get the Talon Overworld last time, so it was a better performance.
Yeah, no, I've tried them both a lot. I think I like the Talon Overworld a little bit better. The only downside to the Talon Overworld for me is the fact that I have to deal with Triclopses, which, whether they're better or worse than the Space Pirates on the frigate is another question. thing that's like strictly worse on this side is the fact that it's harder to get the ball in a good position on the right flipper, because the way the ramps are set up, every time the ramps would lead to the right flipper, there's a 50% chance it'll send it over to the left flipper instead, which is just annoying. It doesn't. It just makes it so it's harder to line up particular shots. Not the biggest thing in the world, but it is something that can cost you lives or bounties. So beyond that, though, I do find like even the shootout stuff here, shooting the beetles is way easier than shooting the shriek bats. A lot of little things that just make Talon Overworld the place to be for me for my starting board. So we've currently seen all the boards in the game except for the final boss board, which of course is going to be the impact crater for anyone who is paying attention during Metroid Prime.
And you all were paying attention for Metroid Prime, weren't you?
Well, if not, this ending is gonna look a little bit different. Unfortunately, we don't get the Phazon suit or the Hyper Beam. We get something else.
What's even the point?
Hey, pinball-specific upgrades are great. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fair. I just... You like the light suit, I like the Phazon suit. I'm a simple
Phazon
man.
suit's real good.
It's got red and black, and I want it.
It is a sexy combination of red and black. Can't say no to that. Let's see, yeah. So here's an instance where making it difficult to get over to the right flipper is making it hard. So I was able to get it over the right flipper, but there was just a chance it would have sent it over the left flipper, and then I would have had some difficulty making that shot and clearing out those burrowers. Oh no! Okay, well, you can't win them all. That one was one of the easier bounties, but it does mean that we're going to need to go to the Pirate Frigate again on this run, after all. Hopefully we can get one where we skip the Pirate Frigate. We got so close in that Ridley. Yeah. I'm glad I got to show off Ridley at least. That's one less thing I need to show off in case everything goes horribly awry.
Everything going horrible never happens.
Never happens.
Haven't even heard of it.
Extra ball? Hey!
Extra ball, please.
Gotta love when that happens.
But if you try sometimes, you just might find that you get the extra ball.
I sure did get what I needed. All right. And that Metroid one went pretty well. Metroids are annoying because they basically act as bumpers, so if you hit them at the wrong angle, your ball will just get immediately dunked into the void. That's not fun. This stream brought to you by not getting your ball immediately dunked into the void.
What is the jingle of not getting your ball dunked immediately into the void?
Oh, God. Pinball Wizard? I think that's the first Pinball Wizard reference we've made so far. I'm proud of us.
How supple is your wrist feeling right now?
Wrist suppleness I don't think is as relevant on the DS as it is on an actual pinball machine. But
Fair.
I will say I did learn, like... Oh, I've researched and immediately forgot a lot of pinball jargon when I first started learning Metroid Prime Pinball, because I was like, let's see what's applicable from, like, actual pinball strategies here. I did research on this. And so that's where I learned, like, if you get the chance to stop your ball and really aim a shot, that's really valuable. Learn different... Like, there were names for, like, different moves that let you, like, pop a ball over to the other flipper and stuff, but unfortunately, that's not something that's... most of the things just don't quite work in the physics of this game. A lot of the stuff would be really handy anyways. Like the flipper transfer, that's just quite challenging. However, we do have a multi-ball. Multi-ball is when you get the jackpots in this game. So you build up the jackpots in the little bumper area in the upper left of the board. The ball bounces around in a bunch. You see the jackpot grows notification there.
Jackpot grows just like the slench.
Indeed. And if you would like to see the slench grow to even more toppings, you can add those. Exclamation point slench. And we encourage such action. It's for charity. Do the thing.
We do. Put literally every topping you can on this pizza. The pizza place will get a bunch of money from me, and we will eat a bunch of pizza, and Direct Relief will have a bunch of money to send medical supplies and emergency aid around the world. Literally everyone wins, except the people who are eating the pizza.
And maybe the people actively making the pizza. I don't know. I don't know what makes making a pizza miserable, but I feel like if it exists, we might be perpetrating it a little bit. I guess it depends on whether we manage to keep sauce and cheese on the pizza.
Darling, I know you're
Oh
you're
no!
a bread lover. You want the bread. Oh,
Yeah, it's okay. This isn't terrible. It's not great,
oh,
but it's not terrible. This is still
oh
salvageable.
boy. It's getting ST MY at my place.
Thank you, Bogspot.
Could you please send your rain over to the eastern coast, where I feel comfortable saying that the GFS Olympus and Talon 4 both reside somewhere on the east coast. And at least in my location in Talon 4, it's been a little droughty lately. So please send the storms that way. Thank you. You also went without for 100 days. Okay, you can have your storm. You can keep your storm.
I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
I will say it's been toasty and not very rainy at all here at streaming location Aether. But in the future, and by the future I mean later today, I think it's supposed to be raining more. It's been all foggy this morning, which has been nice. Had a lovely walk to the bakery this morning to get these loaves of bread and also some coffee and also a big horrifying like s'mores sandwich thing that they had that was great. Oh, I've not eaten healthy today. It's been fantastic.
Well, that's what a marathon weekend will do to you.
Absolutely. Look, I've eaten so many veggies this week. I think I've earned this.
What type of? Tell me about the veggies that you have eaten this week.
Oh goodness. Okay, so I'm not a vegetarian. However, I do try to eat less meat. So I was trying some meat replacement stuff, and I basically found like what is a small ham loaf but vegan. I was like, yeah, sure, let's give that a shot, and it tasted really good. And basically, I basically made myself a little charcuterie with that and a whole bunch of other veggies. So I had some sliced peppers on there and a block of cheese and my fake ham and let's see what else did I have in there? Cucumber and yeah. So I ate that for lunch like 3 days this week. So many veggies. So one thing to note here is that the reason 8 is the magic number for artifacts in order to avoid going to the pirate frigate is that each of the boss boards, of which there are 2, has an artifact for beating the boss and an additional artifact for doing a basically bonus thing on the boss board. The bonus thing on this boss board I just achieved, and that's go around the loop in the center on the inner side of it enough times, or light up all the little lights around the flippers up there. So I did that thing, which is great. That means that's one less artifact I'll need to pick up elsewhere. However, right now, things aren't not cooperating, but they aren't cooperating quickly. I'll definitely say that. Oh,
we're getting there.
We're getting there. All right, cool. We got a combat. That means we can clear out these little pirates and also fire off these missiles, which you didn't get to see last time, but it puts the Omega Pirate in a weakened state, just like actual Metroid Prime.
Oh man!
And he just took a ton of damage from the one ball.
To deal extra damage.
We hit the weak point for massive damage.
Oh, we got him!
We did get him.
Massive enough to defeat the Omega.
All right, let's go to Findrano Drifts and get that power bomb and beat the giant Rocky boy.
This is a Rocky movie? I
mean, it certainly feels like it. Oh, really? I've only seen Rocky 1 and Rocky 4, which are 2 very different movies. Of course, Rocky 1 is like an actual, like, very good movie about just like a guy trying his best at a thing that nobody thinks he can really do, and it's just a real good story. And Rocky 4 is he's beating the big Russian man, and like there's nothing else interesting happening. It's great. I love it. The Russian man who's so big and juiced up that he defeats his mentor in like a few punches. Defeats him so hard he dies? Rocky 4 is weird. Would recommend.
We can use our missiles.
Sure can. We do need to actually activate combat ready mode, though. Which I believe... how do you activate combat ready on this board again? I think you gotta hit all the glowing spikes? Or maybe that's to get the artifact. Yeah, that's to get the artifact. How do you activate combat on this board? I do not remember.
You know, I would consult the expert, but
Yes, I am the
he's in the
expert.
Discord call with me.
You're not
So
wrong. Okay, I think it's
earlier when
okay.
you were saying you researched pinball terms to determine which was still relevant um, for a DS game, I was gonna say, does this officially make us the most well researched Metroid pinball stream on Twitch.television?
I mean, currently, because by default, because there's no other Metroid Prime Pinball streams.
Does
However,
that mean we're the least researched?
also by definition, yes.
Sterling, what are you doing? I expect better from you.
I just gotta work at it. That's what I'm
Yeah, come
hearing.
on. Get it together.
All right, so we gotta get 3 more artifacts here, and then we'll get the ability to go say hi to Ridley, and then probably get dunked on by Ridley. We'll find out. We probably are going to hit that 2 million mark for another extra ball, which is great. We're just in a really good position there. Let's see. No, I really do want to start the bounty mission, please.
Come on, bugs. Give us the bugs.
Give us the bugs!
Make this Hollow Knight.
I mean,
Shut
that'd
up,
be pretty
Hollow
great. That's a significantly better game.
Knight. Hey, we
Man.
love pinball,
We
but
do.
also Hollow Knight is one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah,
So
that's more of a compliment for Hollow Knight than an indictment of pinball.
although it's not an indictment of pinball.
Yes, that's a very fair thing to make extremely clear here.
Ooh, Metroid Mania. That's what we should have called our event.
Maybe when we get to the pinball numbered one.
Also, is your red ball just irrevocably stuck? Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. As the phase on multi-ball was going, it looked like it though. So,
Bounty next. Artifacts located.
yeah, and I just need to kill these Metroids in the next 36 seconds, and we'll get another artifact. All right, cool.
You can drop bombs. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So you need to do that in some instances, like when you're in the little slot machine that's trying to give you different power-ups. That's how you actually trigger it. Wow. Thanks, Pinball. All right. Yeah, so, hey, we got our extra ball.
Oh.
Just like I said.
So he lost the ball, gained the ball.
Yeah, this is workable. We can still win. Especially if we get an extra ball here. Fingers crossed. Yes. All right. No, we're cruising now. We're cooking with gas.
Cooking. When I mentioned that I had a Popeye sandwich earlier today, I should have also mentioned that's the only food I've had today.
We have talked about food a lot, and you have watched me eat bread.
Yeah.
If you need to take a step away and go get yourself a snack.
No, there's 20 minutes left on the schedule for this. Maybe 30 minutes if we eat into the setup block. We're gonna beat pinball or at least show off all the boards, and I'm here for all of it.
All right, heck yeah. Oh come on! Oh no, the angle. Oh, you're kidding me. Okay. How many artifacts? Okay, we do need to get one more artifact before we go out. So let's get this one. Okay, really glad I made that shot. Because now that means that we'll have all the artifacts we need, and now we can go beat up Ridley again, or at least try. One thing that's kind of funny about this game is even though you fight Ridley, it doesn't show anything bad happening to Ridley. It's just kind of there. And then you beat the board, and that's like, yeah, you beat the board, and it shows one of the 2 cutscenes in the game. Yes, there are cutscenes. They aren't very long. I promise. It's fine.
But what they lack for in length, they maybe also lack in quality. I don't know. I haven't seen them in a while.
Well, that's another ball down. So here's our second to last ball, unless we manage to get up to 5 million points, which seems unlikely. We could also, in theory, get another extra ball, which would be great, but I'm not putting any dollars on that one. I should have given myself some donation incentives for myself during this run. Let's see, what donation incentives would I give? Like $20 for each time I get a game over, maybe?
I like doing things where the donors can donate something and see an immediate reward. So if you wanted to do, like, instead of doing a multi-mission one of these times, if you wanted to do a, like, pick the next board, You know,
Okay, I can see that.
$10 pick the next board or whatever. $5 pick the next board.
Yeah, there's actually a different type of score bonus thing where instead of going for just score on multi-mission, you can also go for score on an individual board before you beat it, basically, and also time to beat a board. Those are also other things you can do on the single mission mode of this game. So one thing I will say about this game is, as much as this game can be quite frustrating to actually try to beat, it's a wonderful game to just play. If you want to burn some time, you're like on an airplane or something, just sit there and jam a few games. The only time it gets frustrating is if you're desperately trying to actually win, which
Yeah,
I
and
might
who
be
would
trying
ever
to
put
do now.
themselves? Who would ever put themselves in that kind of situation?
I know, right? What absolute buffoon? Oh no, the hurry up blocked me from Mike. Hurry up blocked me from being able to leave. That's exactly the kind of thing I was talking about earlier. Hurry up is awful. I hate it. All right.
I wonder if hurry up is like trying to emulate you're on the board and there's someone else who wants to be there, so they're like, hey, we gotta just make you lose so that the next person can play. Except that's not a thing. This is a Nintendo DS game, not an actual pinball board.
So actually, hurry up is a thing for other pinball machines. That's actually a pretty common thing, where it's like you hit a certain number of things, and then there's a ticking down bonus, where you're basically trying to go through one loop within the time. Like that's something that's actually in a lot of different pinball boards. Come on, you can do it.
Let us do the boss fight. Let us play the game.
Definitely carried over from proper IRL pinball. So, all right, let's give this another shot. Let's see if we can beat Ridley, or will we eat the board, or will the board eat us?
Will we be bogged, or will we bog Ridley?
There we go. Asking the real questions. Okay. Ooh. Down to 2. Okay. I can work with this, but it's less than ideal. If I could get a third, that'd be great.
You start with 12, right? Or do you start with 8?
With 6.
You start with 6?
Yeah, that's what the counter bar at the top is. At the top of the bottom screen, that is.
Okay.
That shows how many balls I got going at a time. Oh no. Okay, now I'm down to 1. I desperately need to get hit that button in order to get more balls. Great. I can also hang out in these safe zones for a little bit, but Ridley is going to start dropping bombs, and it's going to be bad.
If only Anthony was here to give us a hand.
Really, just anyone giving us a hand. Metroid Prime doesn't have a lot of Samus's friends, let's say, helping out. All she's got is, like, some Chozo ghosts.
And they're not very friendly.
No, they aren't. They used to be friendly. But, not really these days.
We're down to 2 slots.
We are. Down to 1.
Oh no! Creating extra artifacts. We put the artifacts in spherical form, and are now trying to launch them towards their receptacles, as you do with priceless artifacts. Just ask Indiana Jones.
It belongs in a museum, or does it belong destroying Ridley in ball form?
Good swap over from right to left.
Yeah. Now this is stressful. Believe it or not.
Just breathe easy.
Oh, no. Just want to make the shot. I'll get there, I swear. Sure, I'm getting a lot of points, but...
We have to eventually.
Alright, come on.
Do we have an infinite amount of the extra artifact balls?
Yes, as long as we keep hitting the button.
Okay. And no more than 6 on screen at a time.
Correct.
Because I think any more than that, and the poor DS would just
explode.
Melt.
There would be no more DS.
I mean, we have 3 points in-house. Oh we're aiming for 5 million right now.
Yeah, I mean, we are getting points here. It's kind of slow. Really, I just need to get it in that one spot. That upper right one is always the killer for me. Come on. All right, I'm keeping 2 on screen at all times at least, which is pretty good. That's workable. It's like that gives me the ability to lose 1 without it being a huge deal. This is extremely stressful.
Breathe deep.
This is...
Sing yourself a nice, relaxing song, like the Ridley boss theme.
I do think that this is the longest I've ever had on a Ridley board. This is extremely funny. Oh, that shot was so close.
Yeah. I've also seen you use one ball to hit another ball into one of the zones that we've already cleared. And I'm wondering if that's going to be how we do it.
Maybe. Oh, come on, I gotta survive. Oh, no! After all that! Oh! That's a huge bummer. Alright. How are we doing for time?
It is 4:20 p.m. You are scheduled until 4:30.
Okay. Because I have 0 lives left. I could theoretically get back to Ridley. Seems unlikely. So I think after this, I will submit defeat to the pinball game, and we will go and show off the final board without doing the whole rigmarole to get there. How does that sound?
That's right, Doc Team, note it down. Today in Metroid Prime Pinball, we got pinballed.
Not necessarily yet, but it seems like we might have gotten pinballed. You still got a shot here.
You've only got one shot. Do not miss your chance to pinball.
Got a ball.
I'm
ball hard.
great at the musics.
That's Mark's job, right?
What? Wait, what?
Mark
when
from
I was a young wart ball. Like, I know we've sang that song like 4 times this marathon at least.
Am I gonna rewrite lyrics to that to reference pinball? Is it gonna be really bad?
I hope so. Alright, so the thing that could really get us back in this, because the final board is challenging, is if we get 1 more extra ball here before we hit 5 million. If we get a slot machine or we do a wall jump, that'd be great. That's our path forward to victory from this point, I think. Again, still definitely doable, just a little rough on 0 lives. We're getting a lot of jackpots, though. We might actually hit that 5 million at this rate.
Million. Extra ball.
That'd be great. Pretty please. The cherry on top.
I just like the ominous nature of the message, jackpot grows. It grows.
Is the jackpot some beast I must defeat?
Special collected, 50,000 points. That is not a lot in the pursuit of 5 million.
No, that's what you get if you would get an artifact, but you have all 12 already. You get a special. Yeah. It's also what you get in the slot machine where you can get all sorts of bonus goodies, including things like extra balls. It'll say big points sometimes, and you'll just get 50,000 points. And no, that's not very many points, game. Give me something better.
For, 20 million. That is not even a %.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Come on, you can do it. I would really like to hit that Burrow Bash. That'd be fantastic. Nope, I'm just gonna keep doing loops. All right. So you can, in theory, control pinballs, but it's hard, especially when you're not dealing with real physics. So, yeah.
I can't believe you didn't find a physical copy someone had made of Metroid Pinball and pointed a camera at it and streamed that.
Oh my god.
I'm disappointed by your lack of dedication.
The pinball board itself would need to rotate and would need to spawn like little gremlin robots to fight you and stuff.
I don't see the problem.
Well, I see a problem. That
Also,
problem is that I died. So,
for legal purposes, this is a joke. For legal purposes, I am not disappointed with Sterling. I think he's doing a great job.
oh, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. I think
Legally
y'all are doing a
speaking,
great job too. Actually, Nhouse in chat just asked about virtual pinball tilts. Technically, this does allow tilts. However, with my current DS setup, you need to use the touchscreen to use them, and with my current DS setup, that's just a bit of a pain in the butt. So that is actually how tilts are how the TAS of this game is run. Is you just abuse the tilts like crazy and just speedrun it that way. It's very funny to watch, especially if you played this game at all. I believe the TAS beats this game in like a minute and a half or something. Which,
gosh,
if you've seen TAS before, is not surprising. However, let's go to the Impact Crater.
seeing this game beaten in a minute and a half seems like cathartically satisfying right now.
It's hilarious. Yeah. Would recommend. I've beaten this game like probably about a dozen or so times at this point, which is way fewer times than I've played it. I'll tell you that much. Let's see. So for this, we got. So because this is like the bonus version of this, and we didn't just play through, we didn't get the upgrade, or we didn't see the upgrade pickup. But we have now is the Forced Ball, or the Forced Ball ability allows us to hit those little green things up there and immediately die. So if we hit those green things up there,
An interesting power up.
interesting power up. So that green thing up at the top, and the top of each corner is the Force Ball pickup. So maybe it was 4 minutes. Thanks for checking, Mojo. It's been a while since I've watched it, but it was like not a lot of time. Let's see, can we get an extra ball? That'd be great. No, force field, I'll take it. But as soon as we hit the green thing, we become basically just a high-speed ball of death. As soon as we hit maximum velocity, we can actually do a lot of damage, just plow through Metroids, and do a lot of damage to the boss. So this is how we break through the carapace of Metroid Prime's first phase.
Get spikied.
Yeah, so obviously in this mode we only have one life to work with, so it's going to be a little more challenging, but it's less challenging than trying to get here naturally, I'll tell you that much.
That's fair. It's also a lot quicker.
Sure is.
Give
Which, that's
us
the more relevant part.
Give us the spiky.
So what I need to do is I need to hit one of Metroid Prime's legs, and then I need to shoot the ball up the path that the leg was in. So let's kill this, and then shoot a missile here to knock the leg back. And now we can make this shot. Oh, please, no! Okay, that would have been great to get that one. However,
watching it on the stream delay.
yeah, we'll hopefully get there. Ooh. Yeah, you try harder than that, big guy. All right. These side things are going to be our best friends for refueling stuff and getting force fields. That's very valuable. Going around the loop charges up the Samus letters in the center, which will let us go into combat mode and use a missile to knock down one of the legs, making it easier to make that shot. We are low on health, though. Between this Metroid and this bigger Metroid, great if we get a health pickup.
With the letters? Can we spell, like, Sassum?
No, we can't go out of order. It always ticks up in the same order.
UMass. University of Massachusetts. Let's go.
There we go. Everybody's favorite Metroid game. Or Metroid protagonist. The entire University of Massachusetts.
If I knew anyone that had gone to UMass, I would be asking them, what's your school fight song? Can you teach it to me over Discord, silently?
My parents actually both went to UMass.
Really?
I don't
What's
think either of
fight
them
song?
could say the fight song. I have no idea. I don't think either of them paid enough attention for that.
All I can conjure to mind is the Hartford Whalers theme song, which is Brass Bonanza, and it is a bop, as the kids say.
Goodness. All right, at least when I get to the second phase of Metroid Prime, let's try this one more time.
Yeah.
Because there is a second phase.
Yeah, I think you got one more attempt, and then we're gonna cut back over to the GFS Olympus, set up Metroid Prime Hunters, and set Connor loose on it.
That's extremely fair. No, please let me get to the right flipper. That'd be great.
Connor is attempting to make a dark bargain with me to play Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo DS instead. I'll let you know if it works.
Please do.
If we play the original Mario 64, I could do a 16 too.
He's offering
Force field. All right,
us to first find a Nintendo 64, then find a copy of Super Mario 64, then find a way to capture the N64, and he will play a 16-star speedrun in 2 hours.
No, I'm pretty sure we can just get it off the virtual console.
Maybe. I'm gonna go with no.
Come on.
Come on. That would be a much more entertaining.
All right. No, I'm making an executive decision one more time. Last time for realsies.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I'm watching him play the DS version, and Yoshi just transformed itself into Mario.
You didn't know that was the thing?
I've never played the DS version of this game.
Yeah, the DS version's weird. It's kind of cool.
Yoshi. And you have to get like 8 stars for the Mario.
What's really funny is talking to somebody who's only played the DS version and being like, yeah, no, you can't play as Wario, and then being like, what?
You can.
So, N-House. People like N-House. You have nightmares about the camera to this day. Yeah, well, so do the people who only played 64.
That's true. That is not a unique experience.
Yeah, I don't. Oh no, I'm not Mario anymore.
If you win the race, is he going to be like, nice race, but wait, where did Mario go?
No, I don't think I believe that.
Alright, I'm going to focus on the game that's actually being played on stream, and not the game that's being played off stream on stream. How green and spiky are you feeling at the moment?
Well, oh god. Okay. So I've gotten Metroid Prime most of the way down. Oh no. Okay. Do I do one more?
You got pinball? I think we probably call it. Why don't you take
All right.
another big bite of your favorite loaf of bread?
My favorite. I think I like the potato bread most. So let's
Right.
just cool down. A bit more of this lovely potato loaf. This rustic potato loaf, as my local bakery described it.
If there's rust in it, you shouldn't eat it.
I don't see any rust. I don't
Okay,
know, I think that golden brown toasting is just oven work.
you're probably.
I actually don't get the start on this thing.
All right, everyone. Sorry we didn't get to beat pinball this time. Doesn't always happen.
It's always next year.
There's always next year, as Connor has said from beside me, but maybe not audibly for the microphone.
That was audible actually, and there is always
good.
next year. Hopefully next year we can take this game down. I will say that after you destroy the carapace, the big noodle monster version of Metroid Prime hops out, and much easier to hit because you don't need to go through the whole force ball thing. But getting the force ball thing does do a lot more damage. You can burn all your missiles and power bombs on it, and second phase is way easier, throwing out a lot more stuff. But in general, once you get through the carapace form, game gets the final boss gets a lot easier. It's hard to do on the one-shot things because usually you lose at least 1 or 2 lives. But if you do the full run and manage to get there, you're usually getting there with enough lives to be fine. I've rarely gotten there without like 2 or 3 in spare because RNG just really likes me and give me a bunch of lives. So, welcome to Metroid Prime Pinball. It happens sometimes. Thank you all for sticking around. We got a lot more marathon coming up. Hope you're all ready to see what's coming up next. Is it Metroid Prime 3?
It is Metroid Prime Hunters.
That's right, the other DS
Yep.
game.
Your other favorite DS Metroid game.
Yes. In case you haven't played that one, stick around. It's a bizarre treat. Imagine like a Quake Arena kind of thing, but as a Metroid, it's cool. Connor will show you. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your marathon. I'll be sticking around and chat. Once again, I've been Sterling. We got Mike here on the mic, as it were. And we'll send it back to the GFS Olympus.
See you over this side.
See ya.